Hello and welcome back to D&D with High School Students Season 5. We are back at the table with our core adventurers. This party is just getting into the groove of their explorations of the wild continent of Chamenos. So we're going to do a quick round of intros. To my left is Ellen. Ellen, tell us a little bit about your character. Go.
Hello, I'm Ellen, and I am playing Lady Birch. She is a Satyr Grave Cleric.
A Satyr Grave Cleric. That's just a whole boatload of fun. All right, next over is going to be Josh. Go, Josh.
I'm Josh. I'm playing Ahkum, a totem barbarian. He's a Leonin, and he's a bit of wild forest magic.
Right on. And then finally, Kat. Who are you playing?
What's up? I'm Kat. I'm playing Lark. She's a warlock. Human.
A good old-fashioned warlock. There's nothing better. So a grave cleric, a warlock, and a barbarian left a city. In the last episode, you guys decided to leave the city of Ohiro, probably the most well-defended settlement in the entire southern half of the continent, because rumor has it that a dragon had been awoken and was going to be heading towards the city of Ohiro soon. But you sought other opportunities outside of the city. And in looking for other opportunities, you met a very kind, patient, and friendly furbolg named Votano, an herbalist who was willing to contract you for some special work to acquire a series of ingredients and components that he needed. Some of these things were herbs, some were roots, some were berries, and you have a list of these items. Or do you? I forgot if I gave you a list.
We had a list. He wrote us out a very nice list.
Okay, so I have this list. There are 8 things that you have to acquire. And because some of you have proficiency in survival, I believe, and nature, or not?
Both.
Okay, good. So you're following the Leonin barbarian because he's like, I know where these things are. Now, you, Ahkum, you know that like the first 3 things on this list are about a half day's travel northeast, kind of along the edge of the mountains into the woods. And you know that this area can be a little tricky because this particular area at the foot of the mountains, the deeper you go into the woods, there can be strange, kind of eerie effects which happen. And by this, I don't mean specific creatures or monsters, though those are potential threats. No, I mean actual environmental effects. You have heard rumors of strange fogs and mists appearing from nowhere. You've heard of people going into this area and never coming back. You've also heard of people going into this area and returning slightly crazy. So, it's not necessarily dangerous in the way like you're going to go in there and you're going to be attacked by 500 gnolls or goblins. It's more like there are unknown dangers in this area, environmental dangers, if you will. But you are confident. You're confident that your knowledge of nature and knowledge of the land and survival will help you guys get through this. So, you're walking along. You're traveling along. Each one of you, make me a perception check.
My favorite.
Oh, fun.
21.
It's a 1. It's a 1 plus
30, 20.
20, 21, and a sad roll. Okay, you sense that as you kind of are moving through this base of the mountains area, it's kind of a sparse wooden area, but as you're going deeper and deeper into the woods and the canopy overhead becomes kind of thicker, you both hear whispers. These whispers don't seem to be like close to you, like they seem to be sort of almost on the wind, but it's like and it's like occasionally you just hear these, and it's very faint.
Do they seem to be in any, like, intelligible language, or like
Good question.
They have a
What
language
languages?
structure.
What languages do you speak?
Common, Leonin, Sylvan.
Oh, Sylvan, indeed.
We speak the same languages.
Do you?
We speak the same 3
You
languages.
hear a strangeness in these whispers. Not every word, but a few words. Like every other phrase seems to have some whispers, and you catch words actually in Sylvan. And some of the words are, "We're hungry, feed us. We're hungry, feed us. Let them come closer.
Oh, great.
Let them come closer." And then there's other sounds and languages and words that you can't quite pick up. Meanwhile, Lark, it's a beautiful day. It's like you've gone into the canopy of the woods, and the direct sun's not burning your skin overhead, so you're like, oh, this is nice. It's like cooled down. It's like a nice, 68 degrees in the woods, and like a cool breeze blowing through the woods, and the sound of the leaves overhead, and little bits of sunlight shooting through. It's very pretty, colorful. You guys see, like, there's a variety of different, plants, bushes, and trees in this kind of terrain. But it's not hard, difficult terrain. You're able to kind of easily move through it. So you hear these things. What do you guys want to do?
Do I see any, like, just loose pieces of something like debris on the ground? Like
Oh, yes. There are leaves. There are
like
occasional
hard.
limbs and rocks and just kind of things that you would naturally find. Yeah.
I'll grab a decently sized rock and just hold on to it for a little bit. You hear that, right?
You mean ghosts?
The things.
Well, I'm assuming it's ghosts, but yeah, I do hear them.
Would we be familiar with the creatures that speak Sylvan?
Yes. In some manner you would. You know that there are woodland creatures who avoid any of these settlements, okay? But aren't necessarily aggressive, let's say, or evil, but just kind of avoid civilization. And as you have moved further away from civilization, it is not unlikely that you could run into, let us say, some of the different sort of creatures, small, medium, and large, and even tiny, who kind of dwell in this less occupied space. Among them, pixies, brownies, tiny little creatures, but also like, small and medium-sized creatures. You know what I'll have you do? This would be an opportune time for an Arcana check.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Wait, are you proficient?
No, it's a 16.
Hey, that's not bad. So, pixies, brownies. You know that there's also a few other kind of races, Sylvan-based races, who are sort of like sentient plant folk, okay? That, again, depending on circumstances, may be, friendly or maybe not friendly, depending on where you are and how you approach them.
Would I have interacted with these pixies, brownies, and other folk
No.
prior? No.
And
Okay.
here's what you know because of that successful Arcana check. The reason why is because they are afraid of your kind, specifically.
Would I have interacted with any things?
Yeah. So you know that there are centaurs and satyrs, and merfolk, but also little kind of blights, twig folk, plant folk, dryads, all of whom could possibly be within this realm. Some of these creatures are also not physical. They are non-corporal. They are spirits.
Like I said, there's sometimes ghosts in the woods. Normally they're friendly. And,
Can you eat them? Can you eat them?
well, I've never tried. I think some of them you could try and eat. Some of them you
I
just
don't
can't
think you
touch.
can eat ghosts.
Well, have you tried?
Have
They're
you tried?
incorporeal.
I mean, but if you tried?
Well, not every ghost is incorporeal.
I mean, I haven't eaten a ghost yet, and it's on the list.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? You can eat a ghost.
As you guys are having this discussion, I assume you're continuing to walk forward. Okay, so you're making your way through
Certainly
kind of
wary,
this area.
just kind of looking out, making sure no one's sneaking up on us.
And you have proficiency in survival?
I have proficiency in survival and nature.
Okay, give me the survival check first. This is kind of to get your bearings. Anybody else with survival can make that check as well.
It's an 8.
What about nature?
I'll give you nature. Go ahead. Nature or survival. In this instance, that's flexible.
I have a +3 to my survival.
Do it.
17.
Okay.
19.
So you all are kind of you have your bearings. You know you're kind of heading northeast-ish, and you get to a small creek, and you know that like once you identify this creek, it's kind of moving at a nice pace, but it's not a river. It's just a creek. But you know that these are very common kind of landmarks in the region, right? And this is fresh water that descends from the mountains, from the snow melt down kind of and sort of into the region, right? You come across the first of these creeks and you kind of catch this as a landmark. You notice something about this creek though. The water doesn't look right. And it also has like there's like a steam coming off of it, which also shouldn't be happening because it is not cold. It's like 68 degrees. That water should be cold, and it looks like it's hot.
Is
and
it a
there's
steam, a smoke, or a mist?
You examine it, and with your knowledge of nature, you get closer to it. The closer you get to it, the warmer it is. You could feel this is steam.
Okay.
And as you get close, I'm assuming that you're not like going up and like touching it yet. Okay, but you guys get like, let's say within 5 feet of it, and you see that this water is steaming, and you see dead fish floating in it, just floating by sadly. Like
Dead how?
Dead like the water's
Boiled them?
yeah.
Okay.
Like you're like, I wonder if I could reach in and eat a fish because it's cooked. Like,
We can certainly make an inference about this.
I'm going to take my axe and just scoop a fish out of the water.
okay,
And it just looks like it's been boiled alive.
yes,
I'm going to prod it once or twice.
it's warm to the touch. Like you just took it out of a cooking fire or out of a pot. Yes.
Well, if this comes down from the mountain,
Yes, considering that
dragon
there's
things, waking
considering
up,
that there's rumors about a dragon, I'd say that's probably likely.
yeah. That's not. I kind of thought they were like, 3 days, and then the dragon didn't come, and then I was like, there's no dragon, but maybe there's a dragon.
Well,
I'm going to take the fish and just eat it.
It tastes like a fish that, I mean, there's no salt or spices, but it basically tastes like you just cooked a fish. It's cooked, like the flesh inside is cooked.
the water would likely be caused by if the water was getting heated up, which means the mountain is heating up, probably.
From a dragon, yeah.
Well, from a volcano.
Well, the dragon's in the vault. Oh, what if it's just like a volcano? It's like a figurative
Right.
dragon or
That's what I'm-
something.
Is the ground hot around the water?
It is warmer, like you kind of put a hand closer to the edge of the creek. It is definitely warmer. If you step back a few feet from the creek, it's not as warm.
Can we see the mountain from where we are?
If you follow the creek due west through the woods for maybe a couple miles, you would start to ascend the mountain, and you would have
Okay.
a clearer view past the trees. Yeah. Now, to this point, despite this oddity, you know that this creek is kind of a marker that sort of separates the southern, more sparse side of this forest from the kind of central area, which is much more dense, that I kind of described to you before. And it's in that central area of this forest that you would be looking for the first 3 components on the list that you guys got from Votano.
And I'm going to assume this has never happened before.
You have never seen this happen
Okay.
before, correct?
Well, let's get this herb list over with.
Winnie's gonna take one of her bags and start filling it with the fish.
Okay. They're kind of mushy because they're cooked.
Yep.
Okay.
That seems excessive.
Well, the ghosts are hungry. What are we gonna give them? There's a bunch
Right.
of food right here.
I think you mean what if Ahkum gets hungry?
No, the ghost, he can get his own food. Don't eat my fish.
It's gonna reach out and grab another fish out of the stream and just down the hatch. I'll be fine, maybe.
Yeah. All right.
What's the first herb on our list?
Okay, so there's a yellow flower,
Okay.
and this yellow flower has to be collected very carefully. You have to actually pull the whole plant out, including the root, in order to preserve the pollen that's on the flower.
This is a question.
Yes.
Can we see the full color spectrum? Have you ruled anything like certain races can't see certain colors?
No.
Don't say that.
You can see everything. Now, if
You
we
can
were
see
talking about
ultraviolet.
dark vision,
Yeah.
I do. Dark vision's not like perfect vision.
Yeah.
It never was meant to be. So, with dark vision, it would be more difficult to discern subtleties between different shades or even distinct colors, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
But this is daylight. You guys have full purview over your vision.
Let's go get some flowers, I guess.
All right.
Okay, how are we crossing the 10-foot creek?
Do we need to cross the 10-foot creek?
Yes.
Okay.
Mirthful leap.
All right, make an athletics check. Huzzah.
I get to add a D8 to whatever I roll.
Need a hand.
You're not throwing me.
Which is probably good.
Oh, wait. Could you throw me? If you're
Yeah, I'll throw you.
Oh, yeah, throw me.
When you get in my hand, Ahkum will take a few steps back, run forward, and just
I'm half his height.
Make an athletics check.
Got it.
17. Guidance?
Guidance.
I'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
You go soaring across the creek and make an acrobatics check.
21.
You deftly just skitter to the other side without even dusting up your clothes. You're next.
Real quick, do I see any bugs nearby? Like a beetle or...
Yes.
Okay.
This forest is loaded with all sorts of nature.
Great. I'd pick a bug up. I'm going to cast Hex on it and put it in my pocket. And then I will... Can I, like, climb a tree and jump to another tree from climbing up a tree?
Yes, athletics.
Okay.
You find a sturdy tree with some limbs that basically extend well over the creek, and you're just going to use that as a
Yeah.
bridge.
12.
Okay. No problem. You make it.
Ahkum's gonna get about 10 feet back, and he'll just try to jump on over.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yep.
11.
You succeed. All three of you successfully cross the steaming river creek. You get to the other side, and it's not instantaneously like dark, but you could see that like within 50, 60 yards that the density of the trees on the underbrush becomes relatively significant. There is sort of not a path per se, like where you could have a cart or a wagon, but just sort of like a deer path, like a natural path that you could find your way through to weave your way through it further into the forest. So, you
What are
guys
these
proceed.
Whispers. Have they gotten louder?
So, interesting thing. When you guys stopped at the creek, no whispers. After you jumped over the creek, no whispers.
All right. Ahkum will proceed. He's gonna take his great axe out and he's gonna mark every other tree that they pass.
Okay. You are going to be on point. What's our marching order? Who's in the middle and who's in the back?
I think you should be in the middle. You're kind
You
of...
think me?
Yeah.
All right.
Going by height then?
I mean, technically, yeah.
That seems a bit demeaning.
Oh, well, I mean,
Right.
So Ahkum, you're on point, and I'm assuming you guys are like 5 feet apart, keeping it kind of tight. Okay,
I'm
so you're
watching out
within
very
sight.
closely. for
You're
things.
paying attention. Give me a survival check just to make sure that you have your bearings and you're able to kind of.
Not using that dice anymore. It's going to be a 12.
Okay, the 12 is enough to keep you on the path.
Okay.
You are walking down the path. You guys continue going down this path. After about, well, let's say about quarter of a mile, you have marked quite a few trees along the way, so you know your way back. But you realize that as you're going this way, you aren't seeing any of the yellow flowers. So you feel like maybe you have to like kind of stop and fan out and search maybe for the yellow flowers, because you're fairly certain that they should be growing in this area.
Am I familiar with the scent of these flowers?
Yes. Now, here's the trick. If you know that if you get any of this yellow pollen on your skin, it is poison. That's why you have to extract it carefully from the root and bag it without touching the pollen. So you could smell it when you're within like 10 feet of it.
Okay.
It has sort of a sweet, buttery smell, like buttered popcorn, but sweeter.
Well, we don't have any luck right now. I'm gonna go this way.
Oh, we're splitting up?
You don't have to split up, but you do need to, you feel like if you're not seeing it, but it must be somewhere, and there are bushes and trees, so the extent of how far out you could see at this point is like 15 feet
Yeah, that's fine.
from where you are. Like
Ahkum is pointing the direction perpendicular to the path.
yeah.
All right, I mean, we could do that. Do you want to split up, Lark, or no?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to say north, south, east, or west.
Where's
Well,
the path
first
heading?
of all, I'd say let's stay.
At this point, your path is going north.
I'll go west.
Yeah, don't go too far away, please.
So for frame of reference, south would lead you back to the creek, west is towards the mountain, east is deeper into the woods, north is deeper into the woods as well.
Looking for a spell, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I know my spells.
I know you do.
Okay, so Ahkum's going, did you say west?
So west is towards the mountains, correct?
Yes. I mean, it's like several miles of woods and
Oh,
then
okay.
mountains, but yeah.
I'll head west. That's cool with you all.
Yeah, all right.
Sure. Let's meet back here at a designated point, though. What,
Here?
I mean, well, we're all here. right now.
time-wise? I want to make sure no one.
Can we see the sun?
You see flashes of the sun through the now much more dense canopy.
General direction
Your
of the sky?
estimate is that it's about 10 a.m. I don't remember what time you guys left the town.
I don't either.
Me neither. So let's just say that you left in the morning, you made several hours of travels, and now it's 10 a.m.
All right. Well, let's just meet back when it's middle of the sky.
All right.
All right.
I can do that.
Ahkum will take his axe and he's going to fell a tree.
Here?
That's the way to do it, I guess.
Make a
yeah.
simple athletics check. And Lark and Winny make perception checks.
It's going to be a 13.
Guidance.
Are you kidding me,
I can't roll at all.
Mr. Allen? It's the temperature of this room that is causing me to roll so many nat ones.
See,
That's-
I'm stealing all the what? 21 again.
Okay. So
Just not
Ahkum, you hack away at a tree that looks like, it's decent size, let's say. While you're doing that, Lark, you're kind of figuring out which direction you're going to go in. Winnie, you notice something. Further north, when he's chopping down a tree, you see two trees that are like maybe 25 feet ahead of you guys. They just move over.
I found the ghosts.
Found
There's-
where?
Oh, wait. We're not going to kill the ghosts.
I'm hungry.
Well, they're like tree ghosts. Well, my mother called them ghosts. They're not all ghosts. You see those 2 trees right there?
I'll look towards when he's pointing.
You see 2 trees. They're like modest-sized trees. They're not huge hulking trees, right? They're, I would say, younger trees if I was going to apply some sort of age to them.
So
In fact, if you want to make a nature check, I'll tell you exactly how
love
old you
to.
think they are.
That is a 14.
Okay, you feel like these trees are in that 20 to 30-year-old range. Like, they're a good 40 foot tall,
Still
but they're not like ancient trees, right?
millennials.
Yeah.
They move sometimes. Like, I think you want to cut down their friend with that one.
Just gonna prod the tree, just chop down.
Oh, well.
Are you alive?
Well,
The tree does
Well, it's
not
a tree.
respond.
It would likely not respond.
well, you killed that
I don't know.
Listen, how about I go the way of the trees? You made them mad, but I'll go by them. How about that?
Do you taste good?
There it goes. All right.
They're not going to respond.
Oh, give
Do
him
you
a
say that in
You've
Leonin
already
or in
est-
Sylvan?
Sylvan.
Give him a second, Mark.
All right,
Give
you
him a second.
you yell out this phrase in Sylvan.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, the actions of my
You
consequence.
see, like when the
Whoa,
wind,
wait.
like when there's a heavy wind and it like the upper branches of the tree move.
Yeah.
So that happens with one of those 2 trees that Winnie pointed out, except there's no heavy wind. It just goes.
Well, I'm going to take that as a no. So you don't get to eat them. You've eaten a tree before, haven't you?
You've got to have had tasted a tree by now.
I have, but I don't know if the ghost trees taste different.
Okay, ghost is like okay. They're alive still. You just turned that tree.
Wave up and down if you taste good.
Ahkum.
It doesn't go up and down, but it blows again. Like there's a big wind, but there's no wind. It goes.
That's
And like the upper branches kind of like wave forward and wave back. But just the one of the 2 trees that you saw move, only one of them does this.
I'm just gonna
I'm
go look
mad.
for flowers over there. Don't eat any trees; they might kill you.
Fine.
All right, see y'all in an hour.
But
two.
what if they aren't ghosts?
If it's not a ghost tree, I mean, you can just eat it. It's just a tree there.
All right.
Okay, so you're gonna
West.
go west. When he's going
Towards
where?
the trees, which is north.
North is the
technically.
trees. Yeah, I mean, you could just jog a little bit and go around them if you wanted to go north.
The actions of my consequences, as Kat said. I will go towards the trees.
All right. Okay. Where is Lark going?
Lark is going away from the ghost trees.
South or east?
South.
Towards the creek.
East.
Further into the forest.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have each one of you choose. I want you to describe, like, as you're going in these directions, you know what flower you're looking for. Are you just, like, walking, literally, and using perception to look for this flower? Or what kind of strategies are you doing? We'll start with Winnie.
I'll walk up to the trees.
Okay, you walk up to the trees.
Hi there.
You speak nicely to the trees in Sylvan?
Yeah.
Okay. No response.
Damn. All right. Do either of you know where a flower, like a yellow flower, is around here? I don't know. Do you know what colors are?
No response.
All right. I'm just gonna scooch on past you two. Have a nice day in Sylvan, and then I'm going to start looking around for the flowers.
Okay.
Perception.
Make a perception check.
All right. Guidance. God damn it.
You walk.
16.
You walk for. You're walking and searching for a while. Smash cut over to you. As you head east further into the forest, what is your approach to trying to find this yellow flower?
I'm gonna try and sniff it out.
Okay, so Lark, you are going to also make a perception check. As you are kind of heading east, you get into this thick canopy overhead. It's kind of a little darker. The underbrush is kind of thick, so you're sort of moving through.
7.
And you're like, the smells of forest and plants and dirt. And you are walking around just looking and smelling it out. You're not picking up any scent of that flower. And then we cut over to Ahkum.
Give me a second.
Okay. As you're
You have
walking
2
west,
I'm trying to figure out how this works.
you can also give me a perception check.
1 moment. Are these flowers magical?
No, these
No.
are not.
Okay.
There are a couple things on the list that you detect might be enchanted, shall we say.
Okay.
The properties of these specific flowers, I mean, if you have proficiency in herbalism, you might have a sense of how they could be used.
Okay.
You know that the flower pollen itself, unmitigated, is poisonous on contact with your skin.
Okay.
And obviously, likely if you ingest it. But you know that there's something having to do with how it's used in herbalism and how it is processed that turns that poisonous pollen into a very valuable salve that is capable of curing many different afflictions.
Okay. And where is the wind blowing, if there is any?
You are in a part of the forest where there's not a lot of wind.
Okay.
Very
Certainly
dense.
trying to smell these flowers out, because there's a lot of brush and whatnot on trees. I don't think
Yes.
you would be able to see them very easily.
Right.
Just
It
general perception?
is slow going. You guys are basically in, if I made up a new term called medium difficult terrain, you're in medium difficult. Like,
Okay.
it's not quite full on difficult terrain, but it does slow you down a notch. Okay.
8.
You are looking and smelling and looking. Back to Winnie.
I cast locate object with the yellow flower in mind.
The question is, are you familiar with this flower?
I've been given a description of it, and
You
I
have.
have proficiency in herbalism things.
Indeed you
As
have.
we discussed.
What is the casting time on that spell? And what, if any, are
An
the
action.
material components?
A forked twig.
Oh, that's easy. You reach on the ground
Yeah.
and you find a forked twig.
And break it in half and
I was hoping it was like 6,000 gold pieces worth of sapphire dust. All right.
Oops.
So
No, we
you-
broke your game.
You take your forked twig and you're like, come on, where is it? And as you're concentrating, the forked twig begins like kind of vibrating in your hand, and you start following it, and it sort of pulls this way, and you follow it, and then so it basically leads you east, and then north, and then east, and in that last leg, you see like sunlight kind of coming through a little bit of an opening in this very dense canopy, and the sunlight almost kind of reveals a clearing in this dense part of the forest. And as you kind of emerge, you have to, you're smaller, so you kind of have to push some bushes back and branches out of the way. And as you kind of open these branches, you see a clearing that is full of like medium green grass, and the sun's pouring through it, and it is just a golden carpet of these flowers. There are hundreds of them.
Oh, lovely. All right.
And you hear like birds chirping, and you see like little flies flying around and grasshoppers jumping from one area to another. And it's like you're just looking at this pristine parcel of nature that clearly no kind of humanoid has gone through.
And I know they're all very poisonous.
Yes.
So, is there like a couple that are like growing away from the big group of them?
Yeah, I mean, like if you walk another 10 feet towards them, you kind of get to the edge, and there are some on the perimeter that would be accessible.
All right. I'm going to start digging around one of these at first.
Okay, what are you wearing?
My regular outfit.
Does that consist of long sleeves and gloves by any chance?
Long sleeves.
Okay. How are you attempting to extract this plant?
I circle around it. I know I have to get all the roots. I start digging around it. I'm trying to be.
What
Ellen
tool
doesn't.
are you using to dig with?
Do I have a shovel on me?
Do you?
That's the one.
If you have a shovel or crowbar, it would be listed on your supplies.
I wrote my character sheet out on hand, and I forgot to write that stuff.
Do you
on.
have a dagger?
I would have a dagger, yes.
Okay. You feel like you could use a dagger as a small hand spade slash shovel to kind of dig.
Okay. I'll start
Okay.
doing this. Yes.
Okay? You begin this process. You make a perception check. You make a perception check.
I don't think I'm looking anymore.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean up against a tree and I'm gonna cast message with
Oh,
Winny.
really?
Yeah.
Sight and
Don't think that
120
you
feet.
are close enough.
Sight
100 feet.
120 feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
okay.
you had sending, you could.
18.
You are walking. You smell
Wait.
the smell of the yellow flowers. Yes.
I don't think it is sight because you can
is.
cast it through walls.
You can cast it through walls. Yes, that's true.
Oh.
But there is a range.
There's a range of
Okay.
120.
Because message is a whisper. So it's
Yeah. Okay.
But I have something for you. Stand by. You smell it. You're like, I smell it. You don't see it, but you feel like past this big clump of bushes that you smell that it's kind of coming from that direction.
He'll head on over.
Okay. So you kind of pull away and you see a single tree, and it is dead. And there's like a big crack and a burn mark down the middle of the trunk, as if maybe perhaps it was like hit by lightning kind of thing, right? And this single tree has a whole bunch of the yellow flowers growing at the base of it, and you see a skeletal corpse, like not full bleached skeleton, but like basically like a desiccated corpse that looks like it's been dead for a really long time, and it has the tattered remnants of some armor, and there's like a bag, like a backpack, and a belt with pouches, and a rope and a grappling hook, and there's like a walking stick, and he has a sword, and he's like dead and leaned up against the tree, and some of the yellow flowers are actually growing out of this corpse's body.
Frame of this creature, are they
You would judge
medium
that this is
sized?
a human, like a
Okay.
Camino, like, and they, based on the what's left of the corpse's features, it appears to be like a male. You're not sure what age, but an adult male human.
now? These flowers are growing out of the body.
Yeah, not all of them. There's a
Okay.
bunch that are growing out of the ground, but like as this corpse is kind of like leaning back up against the tree with all of his adventuring gear, there are a few that are growing out, like one's growing out of his leg and the other's growing out of his chest, and like one's growing out of his shoulder next to where he's leaned up against the tree.
Can I recover this person's like supplies and belongings?
Yes. What are you wearing?
No shirt, no sleeves,
Because unarmored
Yeah.
barbarian.
No shoes.
Of course.
no shoes.
Yeah.
Some
No
homemade
long
clothes.
gloves
No.
for extracting poisonous flowers.
Can I use my great axe?
Yes.
Is the rib cage of this humanoid open?
It's not open.
Is there a hole?
I wouldn't say there's a hole. It looks more like this flower rooted itself in its rotten flesh, like it would root itself in mud, you know.
All right, I'm just gonna take
Make a nature check though, just because
Ooh.
you're a fairly smart Leonin.
Ooh, nature's gonna be a 22.
Okay. There's something quite unnatural about this, because these yellow flowers don't grow out of flesh, even decomposing flesh. They're not like a fungus, like a mushroom. They should not be growing out of this corpse. They should be growing in the ground, like all the other good yellow flowers around this one. So you are not a dummy, and you're like, this isn't right. There's something very strange about this. Smash cut back to Lark. Lark, you're kind of just like done looking, right?
Yep.
And
I
it's
take
at
my
that-
water skin.
Yeah, you get a drink of water, and as you're drinking the water, you hear.
I speak Sylvan.
It's not Sylvan.
I speak Common.
It's not common.
I speak Quarry.
What's
Don't
your
go-
passive perception?
12.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Don't Google it.
Quarry. No, I
Don't. Shush.
Roll initiative. It's time to
You did
roll
this to me.
initiative.
That is, I'm gonna say that's botched.
It would make total sense.
18.
Okay. It makes total sense that as you hear the whispers and you're not sure which direction they're coming from, you would like naturally kind of look around, you're holding your water skin, and it doesn't occur to you to look above you until it's too late.
Drop bear.
Okay. So here's what you see. What you see is a small humanoid creature with 2 legs and 4 arms. Its body is hairless, but its face looks very much like a malicious, evil primate. It has large eyes, as if maybe it was more inclined to be nocturnal, and it has a really big mouth with enormous, ridiculous, oversized, pointy teeth, like 2 rows, like shark teeth.
Drop bear.
It is climbing down upside down towards you, and it's like, and it jumps at you.
Cool guy.
What's your armor class?
My armor class is 14.
Oh, that's so good, because he rolled an 11. So he jumps down at you, and you're like, whoa! And you just like swat him to the ground.
Cool.
And when you swat him to the ground, you see that there are 3 more above heading down.
All right.
Your turn.
All right. First of all, I'd say my first impulse is not to, like, when I swat the thing, I'm not gonna cast a spell. I am gonna punch it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I would say make an Arcana check first. This won't count against any
Okay.
of your opportunities to do things. I'm just curious if
14.
you feel like you've heard descriptions of these creatures, but you just can't remember what they're named.
Bad monkey.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta write that one down.
They do have a name, but I mean, it's fine that you call them Bad Monkey because there's 4 of them and they want to eat you.
I'm gonna use my bonus action first.
Yep.
I move the hex on the bug.
Hex on the bug, moved, good.
To a bad monkey. To one of the 3 bad monkeys.
Okay, the one that you just swatted to the ground?
Yes.
Excellent. That doesn't count against your move. Go.
And then I'm going to cast Shatter? Shatter.
Ooh, on the 3 climbing above?
Yes.
What do they have to do for a saving throw?
Make a con save.
Oy vey. That's, oh. You know
Don't
what,
do that.
I have
Don't
to
say
show you
that.
that. Can you read those numbers? That's an 18 and a 19, baby.
Cat is not having
not
it
my
tonight.
day.
Quite, quite cool. Now, one of
not
them
my
rolled a
day.
5. So, one of them's going to get shattered.
Okay.
All right, what's the damage on the full, and is there a half damage?
Because one of my 2 spell slots. That is 3d8.
And then, if they made it, do they take any? Do they
is
take half?
Yes.
Half? That might
Amazing spell. Does extra
3d8's
damage
a
to
not
combat,
messing
too.
around level of pain.
Remind me if I'm wrong. Shatter's the one that does extra damage to constructs and objects that also
Yeah.
destroy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
It should, like,
branches above are going to
the
just...
tree.
Very
Yeah,
fun in
bark
the
is-
sewers.
Bark from the tree is going to go flying.
14 and 7 for halved.
Okay, so 2 of them take 7, 1 takes 14.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just furious now. You have just sent them flying and scattering in different directions.
And
You went west?
Yeah, this is the tree with the guy in it.
Yeah,
With the
so
flowers.
you're not, there's no way in
No.
physics that you would hear this. But you actually could hear this. Make a perception check. Winnie's
Animal
further north, but
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20?
Yeah.
In the distance, as you're in the pristine, remember the nice little field of gold? You're like in the field of gold, you're carefully, like daintily, you've harvested, roll a d4.
Can I give the D4 guidance?
No.
Oh,
All right.
that's a
You've been
one.
very careful. That's why you've only harvested one. But
Yeah.
it is in your bag safely, roots and all, with no pollen on your skin. And as you're doing that, and it's just quiet, the sound of birds and bugs, in the far distance you hear like, oh, and you hear something from like southeast of you. I'm just telling you that. Stew on it. You're up. The one that you swatted to the ground jumps up at you and rolls towards you and goes, and with his claws in his mouth and just is flailing and scratching, and you're just kind of like deftly like weaving and bobbing around.
Is Hex ability checks or saves?
It saves.
It's saves of a certain type.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. What did you
I'm
choose?
sorry, I meant to clarify it's wisdom saves, and I did crush the bug when I moved Hex. Because whenever anything dies, you can move Hex. So I crushed moved it. It's a wisdom Hex.
So I have to make what?
No, no, you don't have to make anything. Hexes just gives them disadvantage on
On
that
you?
save.
Is it disadvantage or is it
No,
minus?
on the whatever creature I cast it on has disadvantage on a type of save that I clarified.
Okay, and you were saying it's going
Yes,
to be
it's
wisdom.
And it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay.
The other two missed. They're scattering and like they
Yeah, I
jumped
figured
sort of
they're-
like squirrels. Like two of them jumped to different trees and are now trying like a different approach of going to these other trees and coming down to attack you.
I say, bad monkey born from hell, and I cast Vicious Mockery
On the one closest to you,
on the one that just jumped on me that
Okay,
has
good.
the hex on it.
good.
Because that's a
Disadvantage
wisdom
save.
saving throw with disadvantage.
The disadvantage of 3, the pain and suffering to all of its ego. How much psychic damage? And
It's 2d4,
yes,
Ooh.
which is
Kill.
5.
And then
okay.
Hex damage?
And then what?
Hex damage.
Yeah, roll a d6.
Hex damage.
Which is necrotic.
It's a d6.
1.
Oof.
Okay. Nope. Yes. Nope. Okay. One of the little tree ones just like goes into full on raging, running at you mode and jumps at you. You have to make an athletics check. It's trying to grapple you with its 4 arms.
Winnie will get up with one of the flowers. Like her bag was fully empty from before, so she's put dirt in it, like her main bag, and she's just putting flowers in there now.
And this is a separate bag from the
can't
dead
do
fish.
this
From the
to
dead
me.
fish
Right.
bag. They're 2 separate bags.
Okay.
She'll start heading over, 35 move speed,
Okay.
kind of dashing. You know.
Okay.
5.
Okay, you are grappled.
Wait.
Now hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Never
Then
mind.
his friend comes up and bites you. And you take 4 damage.
4. Wow.
Oh God.
I rolled poorly. All right. No, I'm going to hold off on you, Josh.
Okay.
All right, Ellen, you're running. Dun, 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 dun. Back to you. Your turn.
Winnie's more
As
naked.
Winnie is running, you don't hear another booming sound, but you hear like commotion.
I hear bad monkey.
Yeah, you hear
Bad monkey.
a language being spoken, and then you hear snarling, screeching, crazy sounds.
Bad monkey.
Yes,
that's
bad
what,
monkey.
That's what people call them. No one actually knows what the name is. They're just bad monkey.
Okay, so. Yeah,
That's
not
what
gonna
gets
do
you?
that. Not gonna. Oh! Oh! Eldritch Blast.
Ah,
Forget you have it.
so
Shush.
you can do that. Remember that there's a 4-armed bad monkey who has you in a grapple. But I'm going to say that like
Okay,
you can
then I'm
wrist
gonna-
it. You can be like pew, right?
I'm gonna, like, elbow it.
If you want to try to break the grapple, you can make an athletics check.
Oh, Well, I'm gonna try and punch it.
Or you know what? I have adjudicated previously that you can get out of a grapple through either acrobatics or athletics. So I'll let you choose which of those two options is the better move to get out of the grapple.
Definitely athletics. That's a 17.
You win.
Great.
Now you can pew pew with your Eldritch Blast.
Now I will pew pew with my Eldritch Blast.
Or whatever you wanted to do.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Yes. That.
Laser eyes. But just the red one.
Wait, do you have 2 yet? Is that 5 or is that 6? Eldritch Blast upgrade.
Eldritch Blast what?
Eldritch Blast upgrade where you get extra shots.
Yeah, I have 2
You didn't
shots.
find-
Yeah.
Yeah, two,
All cantrips.
separate
So I
things.
get two.
You
is
can put them
bad.
on the same target, which is sweet, or you can split them.
I am gonna split them.
Okay,
think.
so are you...
The one that grappled me and the one that bit me.
Okay, so you're like whoosh with your elbow, and you kind of turn and phew, make that.
Okay, that's a. What do I add to my to hit?
Proficiency bonus plus charisma bonus.
That's woo.
Because charisma.
10 and 23 to hit.
The 23 is for sure a
Yeah.
hit. Roll it, sweet, sweet damage.
Okay,
And do you have agonizing blast?
I do,
All right.
which I
This
add my
could be the
charisma.
undoing of the original attacker.
6.
No,
6.
it's not the undoing of the original attacker. 2-hit armor class 15.
Her armor class is 14.
You take 5. 2-hit armor. No, that's a miss. And that's a miss. All right. Round 3.
Yeah.
Double movement though. So 70 plus 70 is 2. So that's
140.
210. So
Wait.
your third round, you've cleared 210 feet of sprinting through medium difficult terrain. Ahkum, over to you in the corner.
Dead body.
You don't hear any of this because you're really far away, but you are fairly certain that that dead body, with specifically not the dead body's unnatural, but the fact that these yellow flowers are growing out of it is unnatural.
Take the butt of my axe.
Yes.
This is a corpse, and that how general amount of time they've been here?
It looks desiccated, like dried out.
Okay.
So maybe a season.
Okay.
You feel like it's been a season since this has been here.
He'll try to plunge the butt of his his axe into like the abdominal chest area of the corpse. Do I break through?
So not the sharp part, but
No.
just boom.
Trying
right?
to like get a hole and then a
Okay, so
Leverage
boom, you
point.
pop through. It punctures. The butt of your axe is a little gooey, let's say. Seems like whatever was rotting inside of there stayed sort of damp and maybe
Okay.
fertile for the plants to grow in, while the exterior husk of this corpse was sort of desiccated. And now roll initiative. Don't worry, he has disadvantage.
Bad
fun.
monkey.
Oh, the most disadvantageous. You win against the ever so slowly moving zombie type undead creature that maybe isn't undead.
Bad mummy.
I'm gonna rage.
Here's what happens.
Okay.
It's not instantaneous, right? You're like, boop. You pop it, nothing happens. You pull your axe out, you're looking at the bottom, and then it's like, and it lurches up towards you.
I'm gonna try to change my grip on the axe,
Yep.
and I want to get the bottom tip of it, like where it meets, like the edge meets kind of the place that it connects to the hilt. I want to grab that hole that I made, that's a leverage point, and I want to arc the zombie above my head and smash it into the ground.
Because of your superb description of this combat maneuver, and because it's a slow-moving zombie, I'm gonna just say make an athletics check.
I raged before this.
Yes.
Awesome.
Why wouldn't you rage? I mean, you were caught off guard by a flower zombie, so
Don't like dead things. That's gonna be a 17.
yeah. You pick it up and slam it. Roll a d6.
And then add rage damage to this.
Yes. Add rage damage.
It's going to be, and strength.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be 8 for damage, I believe. Yeah, because at 5 it's +2.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 bludgeoning.
Yep.
Awesome.
Several things happen. A whole bunch of its gear falls out as you pick it up, right? Like adventuring supplies just spill out of the backpack, and a long dried water skin falls to the ground. You slam it to the ground, and when you slam it to the ground, there's like a poof of dust off of like the flowers that were growing out of it, but also out of the zombie's mouth, and it's like this puff of dust. You're gonna need to go ahead and make a Dex save to avoid getting
Advantage because you're a barbarian, you can see it?
Not yet.
No danger? Ugh.
7th, I think.
No, isn't that second where if you can see something?
No,
you can
that's
make-
reckless attack.
Wait.
A Dex save to dodge is going to be an 11, and I don't think I have guidance anymore because that time has run out.
Okay, make a con save.
That I'm better at. That I can do. That's a nat 20 again.
Okay. You see this
+6.
cloud of powdery yellow air coming at you, and you kind of you're like, ugh, but instinctively you hold your breath, close your eyes, and roll away from this cloud as it comes towards you. Smash cut. You're up.
Okay. You get danger sense at 2nd level for advantage against.
Is it 2nd level?
Yeah.
Wow.
I never played a barbarian and I know that. Come on, man.
It's feral instinct. That's the advantage.
Yeah,
on
feral
seven.
instinct is, yeah.
Can I? I would like to create prestidigitation,
Of
a sound of a bell 30 feet north.
okay, you do.
I'm trying to distract the quasits. Did I get that correct?
No.
Should have stuck to bad monkey.
Should have stuck to
Should
that
have stuck
monkey.
to what you're good at. Yeah, trying to distract the creatures attacking me with something else.
Okay. I'm going to give you a deception roll with advantage.
All right. That's a nat 20.
Yay! The curse has been lifted.
Yeah.
Your crappy ones.
Yeah,
All
plus
right.
6 if that means
So
anything.
you're like dong, and you like square up for combat, and all 3 of the, not the original dude who's almost dead, but the other 3 turn, and they're like, and they like look to the north, and they run away from you, and they run towards the bell.
Great.
Make a perception check.
I have several bells on me anyway. 15. Yeah.
Okay, you're like running towards the area. You hear a bell, and it's very close to you. And as you're running, and you hear this bell, you see a whole bunch of bushes like moving. You don't see what's moving, but something's moving through the bushes towards you.
I'm gonna wait.
How do you wait?
I'm preparing to cast Toll the Dead to make an even bigger bell sound.
Okay.
Not Taco Bell.
It's the Taco Bell bong, but we can't play that.
The very, very damaged and ego bruised original bad monkey that attacked you does try to grapple you again, and you will need to defeat the power of my nat 20 that I rolled.
All right. What am I rolling?
Athletics or
Athletics.
acrobatics, your choice, whichever is better.
7.
You do not squirm away this time, friend, as you are grappled. Okay. Roll initiative.
Nat 20.
You
Not
win.
nat 20.
I rolled a 3, 3, and a 4.
Oh, I got an 8 on the die, but I guess that doesn't matter.
Cheerio. Okay, you're like, and you're ready to do your spell, and the bushes like, and you hear like, and as they get closer, 3 weird-looking little hairless, small humanoids with 4 arms, 2 legs, very muscular but sinewy builds, big eyes, and ridiculous oversized jaw with enormous teeth just launch out towards you, but you get to attack first.
One of them needs to make a wisdom save.
They are not wise.
Good for them.
That is a radical failure.
Oh my god, okay. So the Taco Bell bomb sounds throughout the woods, and that poor little creature takes 8 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, that
The bad monkey.
That hurts. That bad monkey does hurt.
Good for him.
And that bad monkey is one of the ones that took some damage from the previous blast of power.
And I think that's my turn.
Okay. Ahkum?
Do I have extra attack still?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Certainly.
Reckless attack.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
This thing's not dead. You body slammed it, and
Yeah.
it is far from dead. But it's your turn.
Well, no, it's undead.
Good point.
What?
I'm going to reckless attack
Yes.
for both of my attacks.
With?
My axe.
Good.
Now, that is going to be a 8,
No.
a 23,
Of course.
and that is great axe. It's a D12. That is going to be 12 slashing damage.
Meta moment, friends. Since you use that kind of weapon, I don't know if you noticed this, but in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, there are 3 big weapons. The Great Axe, which we all know does 1d12. The Great Sword, which does
2d6.
2d6. Or the Maul, which does 2d6.
2d6.
Yeah.
Why, pray tell, Wizards of the Coast, why would one of the 3 big bigs do 1d12 and the other do 2d6?
So people can argue about it
Yes.
on Reddit.
So I have quashed that argument, friends, and instead I will give you one permanent ability to choose. Now, once you make this decision, it is canon for the rest of this campaign. You may either roll 1d12, 2d6, or 3d4 with your big weapon. But once you make the choice, that's how it is forever. So, choose.
I know what option you want to pick. I can see it in your eyes.
I love my D4s. I'm going to go 3d4.
Okay, 3d4 it is, forever.
Now, when we fight your battalion of guards, you are going to be rolling so many d4s.
One way or the other, I will make all games into d4 games. All right. So, Josh, you can roll your damage with the 3d4 path.
Do you need more d4s?
Congrats! No more use for the d12.
That is going to be, I can't read, 4, 7, 9, 11 slashing.
Not dead, but severely caved in. I'm going to make a roll.
All right.
It is a random roll, and it doesn't matter. So it's a random roll to determine whether or not, as you hit it, you activated another gas cloud of
fun.
poisonous yellow dust. But you did not. So those are both of your attacks. It is going to reach up and claw at you and miss.
Fun.
Because 1. Back to the fray. There's one very angry, wounded, 4-armed little creature who wants to bite you.
So, you know how I cast Prestidigitation, made the bell sound?
Yes.
And now they're all where the bell sound
Nope.
is.
3 of them are after her, but the
Yeah,
last
okay.
one is still angry and wanting to bite
3
you.
of them are where the bell sound are.
Yep.
Shatter again.
No! Everybody's gonna have to make a saving throw.
No, I can choose.
You don't know I'm over the
I can
I
choose.
am
who.
gonna adjudicate you to roll a perception check first.
Okay,
If
that's
you
fair.
succeed on a DC 15 or better, you,
I
over
will-
the scrub brush,
I
can see
will,
her.
argue with you that it's more so a mental I'm choosing these targets, and less so everything except these people.
Yeah, but if you can't see her, then you can't choose.
I know, no. I'm arguing that it would be you choose specific targets to get hit, not you choose specific targets not to get hit.
I understand.
So I would choose, even if I don't see her, she would not
You don't
get hit.
see them. You're fighting with a creature, and there are like 6 foot tall bushes going for as far as you could see.
I'm saying mentally.
Yes.
Mentally, I'm targeting the 3 bad monkeys,
Cool.
not her.
All right.
So I don't think I should have to make.
Good. I'll make a new deal with you because you like to play games, so I do too. You roll a d12, and I'm going to roll a d12. If you roll higher than a 6, you win. If I roll lower than a 6, I win.
All right. That's a 4.
Damn it. We both failed. All right, you win.
Okay.
I'm going to have to come
Cool.
up with a better argument mechanic. Okay. So you can make your doom roll,
Yeah.
and they have to make con saves?
They may. Con saves.
3 bads, con saves. What's your DC? Spell save DC?
Monkey. My spell save DC is
14?
wait. It's
Or was that your
charisma
armor
plus
class?
proficiency plus
8.
Plus 8.
8. Ooh. 13.
13. Okay. So 1 makes, 2 fail. So what's our damage? This could be it for the fails, unless you roll suckily.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You can add hex. to this.
17
Only on the critical.
plus
Oh.
hex
Right,
damage.
Yeah,
Oh.
No hex damage.
Yeah. Oops. Anyway.
Okay, so 2 of them. So you're like, huzzah! And then there's like boom, and bushes and bark and dirt and rocks go flying, and 2 of the 4-armed bad monkey people go flying as well, and they make a sort of a sad noise when they go flying because it's their last noise that they ever make.
Too bad.
The 3rd one, though, despite being blasted and wounded and blown like 5 feet away, is kind of trying to get up and is just furiously angry and like looking at you, and it opens its jaws and there's 2 rows of teeth on both sides. Now it's your turn.
Boop. Toll the dead. Wisdom save.
Success.
Success.
Nat 20.
No damage. I just boop it on the nose.
Okay, your angry monkey is going to attack you. That's a 15, which is going to hit. You are going to take, ooh, that hurts, 8. And he bites off part of your arm skin, and it hurts. It hurts.
Oh no.
Your turn.
No.
I'm out of spell slots. However,
You have a cantrip.
I have cantrips.
You have the cantrip.
I have the cantrip. Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Are you pew-pewing both blasts onto this one?
I'm going to. So I'm being grappled by this monkey, right?
Yes.
Can I like poke it in the eyes and
Sure.
cast Eldritch Blast
Sure.
in its face?
What mechanic would you like for poke it in the eyes? Athletics
just,
or
It's
acrobatics?
just flavor text.
Yes.
Yes.
Roll.
That's 8 plus 13 to hit.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Success. You're like, pew, and it's like, ah! Because I remember how I described it with very large eyes?
Yes.
You actually stab it in the eye, and then you pew. No.
Great. Yeah, that's both. So that's 2d10.
This will probably be, unless you roll highly crappily.
It's 2
What? What are you guys
2
saying?
ones.
2 ones.
2 ones?
2.
You guys sucked. I got a 1 and a 2.
Yes!
So that's 3 plus 3, 6.
Okay, that, because you have Agonizing Blast, is enough.
Wouldn't it be
It-
9?
Its arms
No.
kind of
3 for each.
What do you think
fall
1
to the
plus 2
sides.
is?
Yeah, but you have
It's
agonizing
3.
for both.
You get to add
Oh,
to
plus
both.
6. 9.
What's your armor class?
16.
Miss.
How do you have the
Success.
Oh, because you're small.
I have armor.
The remaining one is just furiously trying to like grab you, but fails. Your turn.
At this point, it's crawled on me, and I'm holding it like a toddler as it's just like, like with 4
Despite
arms.
its size, it's crazy strong. Like it's
Yeah.
sinewy, and it has 4 arms.
I'm gonna do a scale of like 1 to 20, if this creature were to have fictional health points, what is it looking
It's
at?
very wounded. You
Very
can tell
wounded?
that it's wounded
I'm-
because it has abrasions and bruises and cuts all over it from being blasted and yeah.
I'm gonna take it.
There's like splinters in it all over the place.
That's not good. I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna headbutt it, and as a satyr, I get to add things to that.
Success. Roll.
So that's dirty 20. It's a D4 -1. I could do 0 damage here.
Oh, that'd be really funny.
No, Mr. Allen.
But you have style. You're like, and you headbutt it, and it's so surprised that you actually buy yourself a little time because it wasn't expecting to be headbutted, and it's actually confused for 1 round.
You mess with the satyr, you get the whole.
Yeah, get them. Goat house. No.
Lark, you like in the moment of defeating these foes, there's a brief silence, but then you hear there is conflict in that direction where you cast your bell. You still hear like a like
So status on Bed Monkey grappling me, holding me
Dead.
tenderly is dead.
Tenderly.
Still
Yeah.
holding?
no, his arms kind of peeled back because when she did the shot him, like it was just enough to blast him back, and he's
Great. I'm gonna stroll over to where I hear the commotion.
okay. You're strolling. You're up.
You're really giving me a day here, pal.
Do it again.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna again.
The headbutt happens.
Oh. Does it just kind of happen?
Just
'Cause
roll the
he's-
d4. I want to see if you roll a 1 again.
I think it'd be very funny.
Please.
4.
That's
All
a
right.
4, so it takes 3 whole damage.
That is enough. It is unconscious. You headbutt it. You see its eyes kind of like go in 2 different directions, and its jaw goes limp, and then it falls back.
That's a fun little guy. I just kind of sit him down. He's not dead. He's unconscious.
You put your hat on him.
You know he's not dead because you actually still see him breathing
Yeah,
slightly.
I'm just gonna-
But he's all sorts of messed up.
He's a good little guy.
Smash cut back to the flower zombie. Oh, a 19.
That hits.
Zip. Make a con save.
Oh, you know me and my constitution
You are
saves.
scratched.
10?
No. So its claw scratches across your fur.
Okay.
Despite you being in full rage mode, you have been poisoned.
That's annoying.
You have the condition of poison.
That's disadvantage on pretty much everything.
On
Right.
attack rolls and ability checks.
Yeah.
Now, if you do a strength-based thing, cancels it out because you're raged.
Mm-hmm.
Proceed.
All right. Reckless attack.
Oh, you only took 1 hit point, did I? mention
1?
that?
Okay. Awesome.
Not a significant amount of damage.
Reckless attack, so I don't have disadvantage.
Yep.
It'll just be a d20 to hit.
Yep.
That is going to be a 14.
That's a bury that axe. Start rolling those d4s.
3d4.
Yes.
That's pretty good. 7, 9, 13 for the first attack.
You split it. It's still up. It's
All right.
it's still flailing at you, despite your axe has literally bisected half of its shoulder and torso.
That is going to be above a 20. I think
Yes.
it's a 21 for the next attack.
Yes.
6, 9. That's going to be another 13.
It is in the ground now. Like you have just cut half of it in half. From this shoulder down to its pelvis is completely open. It is stopped moving.
Does it still have its stuff on it? Or has that been scattered across?
Good question. There are some adventuring supplies that spilled out. Of course, its armor, obviously, what's left of it, is still there. The sword in the scabbard on its belt is still there, and 3 of the belt pouches on its belt. But the rest of the contents of the backpack has spilled out. Smash cut back to you and you. You guys unite in this spot.
Let's do one more. I'm gonna.
It's not moving.
No.
I know it's not moving. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna step on it.
You do?
I was gonna call him.
Try
the
like
Lark.
within the intention of killing it.
Okay. Roll.
I have Tavern Brawler, so that's a 1d4.
Yep. You don't need to roll to hit. Just roll damage.
Cool.
Please say it's a 1. Yes! You
Wait.
wake it up and it's pissed off.
Wait, +3, 4.
Fine, you kill it. I was so excited to have it like bite your foot.
Oh.
You're like, and you see its eyes like popped open for a moment, and then it goes limp. It's dead. All 4 of the bad spider monkeys are dead.
I
I
thought they were
shouldn't say
kind of
monkeys
cute.
because they were not monkeys even remotely.
Do they have tails?
Nope.
So they're
Bad
primates.
Bad monkeys.
Apes.
Bad ape.
Yep.
Did I have you make an Arcana roll
Listen.
to see what these were?
Oh no, that was cat. Yeah.
Go
Can
ahead
I
and make an
roll?
Arcana roll.
Nothing good about a bad monkey.
Arcana 16.
You think you've heard of these things before. They are called specters. And the
Specters.
specters are creatures that live exclusively in deep forests. They do not like the sun, typically. And they eat anything that is made of meat. Even bones. And
How'd I do?
yeah,
Can I make Massey this back?
yeah. That's a great.
There they are.
We're gonna have to show that to people.
Little man.
They are spooky and scary. Now, you also remember something about the fact that they eat their own dead, but none of them are alive. So you have 4 of these little bodies like rotting on the ground.
Now these teeth
Yeah.
that you've mentioned several times.
Yes.
Are they snatchable? For reasons?
With some tools and time, you could extract a few of them. Yeah.
Hey, we're here for flowers. I found the flowers, by the way.
Oh, good.
I've got one, but I want to get more because it's just for fun.
I did not.
You
So-
guys know that you need a dozen of those
Right.
yellow plants.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm just gonna go back to doing that. You can go find more friends. I don't know where Ahkum went. I'm gonna go back there.
you know what? Just gonna. I think I'll stay here.
All right.
Yes.
So you go back towards the field of flowers. Okay, you're making your way back. You're gonna stay in this area. Are you doing anything specific?
So I'm gonna sit down. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna sit down on a tree and do nothing.
Okay, you just enjoy the area, which has been slightly disturbed, mind you, because of several of your blasts. You head towards the field of flowers. Smash cut back to you. Would you like to know what precisely
I would love to.
is in this?
Please.
There is.
The
Now,
random
some of the
D100
objects are
table.
rotted, like from time. So some of these things are not salvageable, which is, I will just not even bother telling you what they are. But
There's a
you
grappling
are.
hook, you said, right?
What's that?
It's a grappling hook?
Yes. So there is a 50-foot length of rope with grappling hook that is intact. There is a net, like wadded up inside the backpack. There is a water skin, which is empty but seems to be in good shape. There are 4 bells,
Of
small bells, like
metal
bells.
quality?
Like ding ding ding.
What are
ding,
they made
ding.
What are they made of?
You think maybe they're made of like little bronze
Okay.
bells? Yeah.
Like, are they gold or are they brass?
No.
They're
Just
made of ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
I'm
Josh.
sorry.
you find a climber's kit. So not only in addition to the rope and grappling hook, there are like metal pitons and a mallet and all that kind of stuff. You find a crowbar. You find fishing tackle. You find 1 healer's kit. You find 2 flasks of oil. You find a walking stick, 5 foot. A signal whistle, a blanket, soap,
Definitely will need that one.
and
for sure.
completely rotten rations, which are unsalvageable.
Are you sure?
I'm certain.
Are you sure?
They crumble, like it's like dust. Now, do you search the pouches on his belt?
Yes.
You can tell that there's jingle jangle coins. So as you extract the pouch,
I don't care about money.
You
Well, how much money do I have? 26 gold. I think I'm pretty well off. Would I know these two enjoy currency?
you probably figure they would, but even as the outlander type that you are, you know that there isn't necessarily universal currency. So sometimes coins reveal something else other than just like, here's money. Sometimes coins reveal that something or someone is from somewhere else.
That's a very good point. Can I check the coins? Are these of...
So you open the first pouch, and there are 31 silver coins that are minted from Agriptimata.
And that is the vineyard?
No,
No.
yes.
Yes.
No, Agriptimata is a settlement that your people have heard of it before. It's on the other side of the mountains and the lake from Ohiro.
Okay.
And Agriptimata is smaller than Ohiro.
Okay.
But these silver coins are minted from Agriptimata. The second pouch has 11 gold pieces that are minted from Ohiro.
And that's where we are from.
Yes. The third pouch has 36 silver pieces from Nerostema. Nerostema is the coastal civilization northeast of Ohiro, and that's the one that where basically the Tritons have taken charge of it.
Yeah, that's the one where it's like the one built into the water, the canals and whatnot. Okay.
Yes. So it's even though again you're not like money, but it's you do
Well-traveled person.
This does reveal something to you, in the sense that whoever this person was, they must have been well-traveled because they had coins from 3 very far apart areas, and somebody who travels that much either doesn't travel alone, or if they do travel alone, they must have been a hardy adventurer. By the way, there's still a longsword in a sheath that you haven't examined.
I'll grab the long sword,
Okay.
keep it in its sheath. Probably just sling it around his waist or something.
Make an initiative roll.
The sword comes to life. Well, hello there.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Okay. You win. The bisected dead zombie who you've been exploring for moments comes together like this and attacks you and tries to grab you.
Can I stomp on it back into the ground?
You can try. Stomp away. Remember that you're poisoned still.
Yeah, reckless attack. That's going to be a... To hit strength is going to be a 17, I believe.
Okay. Roll damage.
This is unarmed strike, so it's just going to be...
Strength
Do
bonus.
I have natural weapons on my feet?
I don't know. Leonin.
Leonin have claws.
Okay.
That's
say.
on their hands?
Yeah,
I don't know if
sure.
you wrote- okay.
Claw attack.
It's a D4. It's going to be 5 slashing.
You stomp it, and it rakes its claws along your legs. 1 miss, 1 hit. You take 2 damage. And you don't need to make a con save because you're already poisoned. It is now, its jaw is going like it's trying to bite you, and it's got 1 claw stuck in your leg.
I'm still holding the sheath.
Yeah.
I'll take the sword out and I'll bonk.
You take his sword out?
Yes.
Okay. Roll.
This is a longsword and not a greatsword.
Correct.
Okay. That is going to be a 12 to hit.
Yes, hit. Roll damage.
All right, and that is a D8.
Yep.
Okay.
Unless you're using it two-handed.
No, I don't.
Okay.
That would be. Oh, come on. 3.
Add your strength bonus.
Yep.
And rage bonus.
I'm not raging anymore. I
thought
haven't
you
taken
were-
damage.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. You do that damage. It reaches out and claws at you. Armor class 14 hit. 5. Oh, no. It is relentless and not letting you go. It claws you again.
Take the sword. You can change his grip so the blade's facing down. He's going to try to just smash the blade through its head
Okay,
into the
do-
ground. Oh, great. That's fun. 12?
Hit. Roll damage.
Wow. That's significantly better from last time. That's going to be a 6 for slashing or piercing, did you say in this case?
You specified piercing. I'll stick with that. You take the sword and you just lunge down. It goes through its eye and comes out its skull, and it's stuck into the ground. And its arms flail like this, and then fall limp.
Is this sword well made?
It is. Now you are familiar with various types of weaponry, from stone and bone, primitive weapons, through iron. This, you recognize that this is steel. This is like castle forged steel. This is a high quality blade.
I had checked out Spothy's forge previously.
You know the mark of Spothy. This is not.
Okay.
You've seen that mark, but this does not have any mark on it. But the craftsmanship is, you were certain that this is a castle forged longsword.
To make sure the zombie doesn't give up again, he's going to take his great axe, bisect it down the middle, take the legs, throw them off into the forest.
Okay.
Don't need those. He'll take the sword back out, try to clean it off a little bit, and resheath it.
Yeah.
Hold on to that.
You're kind of sweating from all this effort that you've made, and also you're poisoned. So you're like kind of tired.
It's time, sun. I'm in a clearing, I'm assuming, right? There's some space around me, I can see the sky.
Yeah,
Is it close to noon?
might be.
And I see
Might
these
be close
flowers.
to you. How many flowers do you want to try to harvest?
Would I know how deep the roots of these flowers go?
Votano told you that they're about 8 inches deep.
Okay.
So you would need to use something to dig them out.
How wide is the face of my great axe?
Very wide. But remember that you found a crowbar in his backpack.
That's true.
You could use the crowbar to kind of dig and excavate.
I'll take the zombie's backpack, shake out any debris and whatnot in it.
Okay.
Put some of my stuff in there.
Okay.
So I have a few free spare bags, and I'll grab a few of the plants.
Okay.
I'd say 4, I think.
All right. You're just using the crowbar to do the
Crowbar
excavation?
to kind of get a general area, and he's going to use his great axe, like 4 big marks around each
Okay.
flower,
So you
and then dig
shovel.
it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say that takes, you're doing it carefully, I assume. And every once in a while you become kind of winded and you're like, you have to kind of stop and catch your breath. But after a while you were able to successfully acquire 4 of them.
Right.
And you feel that it's probably getting close to noon at this point. Smash cut to you in the field of gold. Your procedure is careful, I'm assuming.
Pretty careful.
Roll a d8.
5.
Make a nature check.
Nature. Ooh. It's an 8.
It doesn't have a negative impact. I was just going to give you a bonus if you had a higher roll.
Damn.
Okay, you have harvested 5 more
Plus 1.
plants.
6. Okay. I'm just gonna keep doing it until.
Okay. You're sitting in nature, Lark. You hear the sounds of birds. You hear the sounds of bugs. Make a perception check.
5.
Oh, you know what? You know what?
4.
I'm supposed to. Never mind. I think I accidentally used one more spell than I had,
Okay.
but that's okay.
We'll say that the gods are watching over
Yeah.
you today.
That's perception.
Yeah.
10.
That's just enough to hear. So from kind of like further back where you were before, you
I'm
hear
gonna-
like it's like almost like not snarling and attack growls, but like chittering and talking to each other growls.
In a bad monkey kind
No.
of way?
Yes.
Nope. No. I'm gonna stand up and start sprinting in the direction that I saw the satyr go. What your Winny?
Winny.
Very well, you do. Smash cut. You get back to the fallen log. You've got your plants.
Do I see the dead monkeys?
Yes.
Food.
You see 3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
You see 3, and there's like flies buzzing around them. You see 3 of these strange little creatures.
Ahkum's a bit precautious. He's going to take a few minutes. He's going to grab the 3 around. He's going to ritual cast Purify Food and Water on the 3 of them.
I love our caster barbarian.
Roll perception.
Oh, fun.
Wait, me too?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you pointed at me.
It's going to
Apologies.
be a 15.
Okay. I'm assuming that to do this, you're going to bring these 3 corpses like into one
yes.
pile. As you are doing that prior to casting, you hear like, and you see like a little bit of movement in some bushes about 15 feet away.
Now, I haven't begun casting Purify, correct?
Correct.
And ritual casting to speak with animals is 10 minutes.
Correct. These corpses do not look like animals.
No, okay.
They are not monkeys. They are humanoids with very strange features, but they are humanoids.
Interesting. He'll begin casting it. He's pretty hungry.
Okay.
I can speak during ritual casting, correct?
Let's say you can. What would you say?
This is going to be probably in common.
Give me like 10 minutes and I'll give you a bite.
There's no response. It sounds kind of like the whispers that you heard before, except that none of these are in Sylvan.
We'll continue on.
10 minutes goes by. You complete the spell.
Tear off 2 of the arms.
Yeah.
Toss them to where he heard the voices.
Yeah. You see like 2 different distinct sets of 4 arms reach out and grab the arms and pull them back in the bushes. And you hear like, and you hear like bone crunching and flesh tearing sounds inside of the bushes.
Just going to pop another limb off and toss it just in front of the bushes.
All right, one of them pokes its head out, and it looks just like the other ones that you just like spelled. And it like looks at you, and then it grabs the arm, and then it goes back in the bushes, and it eats it.
Going to pop another arm off, this time farther away from the bushes.
Infinite food
I
clip.
would see this is because part of me is like, should I have him roll animal handling? No. All right. I will say I'm gonna let you roll persuasion with advantage.
Yeah, you said they weren't animals.
Persuasion with advantage. You're using food to make a friend with a creature who might want to also eat you.
13.
Okay, so you try this luring method, but the farthest they go out to get a limb is 5 feet. So you toss one out that's a little closer to you and not as close to them. They come out and then they like look and then they go back in.
Okay.
So you at this point you are fairly certain that there are 2 more of these things in the bushes 15 feet away, but they're not like launching an attack on you because you have given them things.
He'll finish the now limbless corpse of the first one.
Okay, so you eat it.
And he's going to, as gruesome as this is, delimb the other ones,
Yes.
tie a rope around the limbs,
Yes.
and just have them at his side.
Yes.
Ease of access, put the other 2 in a bag somewhere,
Yes.
and see if he can continue training or communicating with these creatures.
I will. Are you offering
Why are
them
you
any
playing
of
a
the
smart
torsos?
character?
Are you offering them any of the torsos or heads?
I think he'll try to put a head about 8 feet away from their bushes.
Ahkum gets
One
a
of them
cool
comes
dog.
out and grabs the head, and before even going back into the bushes, like scoops out an eye and just like tosses it in its mouth and runs back in. Like this is like you just gave him like an apple pie with ice cream, like excitement. You can make an insight check, but actually don't bother. You could just tell
Yeah.
like they're excited about like you just gave them the prize.
Okay, so the
Yes.
head is the good part. I have 1 more head left. And if I did my math right, that should be 16 limbs and
Sure.
2 torsos.
There are a lot of limbs.
Let me write this down.
Can't wait for your parents to
You-
watch that.
You are in the field of gold flowers, and Lark arrives in a rather swift sort of sprint.
Oh, wow. Don't go near them. They might kill you.
Yes, I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah.
This is a lot of flowers.
I mean, yeah, we got to get a lot of them.
Have you ever considered, because you're looking for bird poison,
Oh, I already have it. I'm not looking for it anymore. I mean, I could use these maybe, but
all right,
I know I considered it. You know
You
how it is.
might notice that there are birds, but none of the birds are amidst the flowers. They're all on the branches near and around the edge of the field of gold.
Are any of the birds crows?
No,
Specific?
they're like little sparrows and robins and stuff, but none of them are dumb enough to go into the field of gold.
This means nothing to me.
Now, you do also notice, like I said before, there are flies and bees and grasshoppers that don't seem to have any problem. So it would appear that the yellow poisonous pollen is, in fact, not poisonous to insects.
All right.
You don't need to make a nature roll, you just observe this.
Well, I keep picking them.
You quietly continue to pick things. Do you help her?
no.
Okay, you watch. You watch Winny do the work. Roll another d8.
That's a 1.
You carefully take your time getting 1 more flower.
Do these
Smash
creatures-
cut back to
That's
limbs and bodies.
Do these
7.
have opposable thumbs?
Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Need to add opposable thumbs now.
Oh no.
Ahkum is going to try to stand back a little. He's going to take one of the arms. He's going to hold it out towards the bush.
All right, I'll give you a perception or a persuasion roll. Go ahead.
No, it's going to be a 6.
Yeah, no. Like the bushes don't even open. Like they don't even. That's a big nope. You could hear them. They're still in the bushes. They haven't run away, but they're not coming out.
He's going to take one of the heads out. The last head. He's just going to hold it by his side.
Okay.
Come on out.
Persuasion roll with advantage.
Ooh, 17.
All right. One of them, who you have decided is the braver of the two, comes out
Any distinguishing features on this one?
He's on all fours, like all six or whatever.
Huh, it's on all
Like,
6.
And he comes out about 5 feet and he's looking at you. Like he's waiting for you to, toss him an eye or a head.
Pop an eye out. Toss it over to the right, away from the bush.
The taming of the shrew.
He kind of goes over to it, but as he goes over to it, at all times, he's staring at you. And he goes over to it with one of the forearms, he picks it up. And he's watching you,
He's gonna pop the other eye out.
and he eats the eye. Like eye juice comes out of his mouth. And then he skitters back a little bit, and he's watching you.
He's gonna toss the eye to him.
Yeah, he catches it, and he's like,
Your protege.
Now, I have 4 javelins.
I knew. Yep.
Ahkum's gonna take one out.
don't forget that you also found something on the dead guy's
Oh shit, that's right.
body / backpack.
A
I have a
net.
lot of stuff.
You found a net, Josh.
You did found a net.
I found a net.
I
He's
know.
gonna
You
put the
did.
head down
Okay,
5 feet in front of him. Get the net ready.
okay. He's watching you.
Take a step
he
back.
doesn't move. He's watching you. But you see his eyes go like head, you. He's like, food. Bad guy, food. Big lion, food.
Big lion.
Big lion.
You and your infinite food glitch over here.
He's like,
He'll toss an arm in with the head.
he's like, and he skitters over towards it.
Net.
All right, roll. All right, I'll let you make a normal, not at disadvantage roll.
Okay.
It's very good.
Oh no, it's strength?
I'll let you pick. You can do strength or dex. Go ahead.
Do I have proficiency in this?
Sure.
A lot of it's funny.
This would be a 13.
He skitters back into the bushes. He didn't get it though.
No,
He-
okay.
Do we perhaps hear a
No, you hear. It's actually relatively. The process has been relatively quiet because they weren't making the combat attack shrieks. Roll another d8.
All right. That's a 7 this time.
Okay, you harvest plenty of these plants.
I have 14.
You are brimful of yellow poison flower plants. You are confident that you have not gotten any of the pollen on you, and you don't feel sick because you were careful and you used a dagger and you were very cautious, and you have a bag full of poisonous flowers.
I'm ready to get more.
Yes, and it would seem, based on the rough approximation of where the sun is, breaking through the thick canopy, that actually no, because you're in the field of gold. You're like, oh, it's noon. Like you could see the sun.
Gotta head back to the tree.
Okay. As the two of you start heading back to the tree, you come across a rather macabre scene. A scene whereby your friend, Ahkum, has a gaggle of limbs just dangling from a rope around his waist. There are some torsos and gore spread throughout the vicinity of the fallen tree. And you, oddly enough, don't see really much evidence of any intact small corpses.
Oh, it's not the worst we've seen.
Did you have a nice lunch?
Wait. Stay back.
Take a limb out, toss it towards the bush.
You see one specter come out of the bush and like look at all three of you, and it grabs the limb, and it looks at the lion, and it looks at you.
Eldritch
and
Blast.
then- Initiative.
Ahkum kills
man.
Lark.
No, my
You're a cool
my
dog.
warriors.
We had the exact same thought process. I'm not gonna lie.
20, not natural.
All right, you beat me. I rolled a 19. I was so looking forward to this one escaping and then following you for the rest of your campaign.
Oh,
But instead, you blasted. Roll.
Cat.
Can I try to get you
why
one with
did
the
you do
blast?
this?
Yeah,
Now
wait,
they're
can we
gonna
try
be
that
mad
way?
at me
Yeah,
for the rest
you
of
roll
the game.
initiative. All of you
I
roll
want to get
initiative.
the way I like these things.
Oh no, that's an 11.
That's a 18 damage.
15.
Lark, Lark goes pew, and the blast goes whoosh, and you see as it's turning to run away, it's just like shabloof, and it just gets blasted onto the ground.
Bad monkey.
That was my... No!
What? He was having fun. Come on.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean no?
They're nice if you feed them.
You also killed them.
I know, because I wasn't feeding them.
It's just over there?
Yes,
gonna-
it's not moving.
Take 2 torsos out, just run over. Medicine check? Can I...
Is it still alive
Yes,
and can I heal
medicine
it?
check.
Oh.
It is dead.
Okay, how do we rule Revivify in this campaign?
No, you're being original.
How do we rule Revivify
You
in this
didn't move
campaign?
over there, right? Just you?
I said I went over
So,
there.
medicine is going to be
Okay,
11.
you could tell it's dead, but you see the other one that wasn't so brave. It comes to the edge and it starts reaching its hand out towards the dead one,
No.
and it's looking at you like almost as if its eyes are like, "Is it okay?" And it's reaching towards the dead one. It grabs the
Are we
limb.
not gonna kill the monsters?
So
Wait, Mr.
sorry.
I have a
And
very
it doesn't
important
seem to
question.
care that you're sorry. Its jaws
I have
open.
a very important
And it
question.
starts eating its friend who just...
Wait, can I try to stop this?
Yes.
Okay.
You can stop it. I'm just describing to you what
I
this
have
creature is
a
trying to do.
question.
Yes.
Revivify normally costs 300 gold, which is obnoxious in this setting, kind of, we were talking about. So what does Revivify cost in this?
It costs one of your limbs.
One of my limbs?
No, I just made
I
that.
have several
That would
limbs.
be quite... you know what, that's a good question, because currency is not quite the same. So what does 300 gold worth of value
Yeah.
really mean?
In this economy. I mean,
I would
This
say...
economy?
this economy?
Are you
Ugh.
kidding me?
I would say, I'll give you a choice. You could utilize 300 gold pieces worth of any valuable object. This could be a gems, or even a jewelry, or an object of art. Or
Or,
you could sacrifice the life of a CR1 creature, but the creature has to willingly give its life for your spell.
goddamn. Wait.
Now, how long
I
does Revivify...
Now, you are also a grave cleric.
I am a grave cleric. This
It's
is
cool,
true.
and I was
I will let
fair.
you have one additional option.
Yes.
I actually have a mechanic from my original world that allows divine casters to make direct contact with deities. Would you like to make a percentile roll? Well, I should mention this, meta. Your character doesn't really know this. But
Okay.
as your character would be a grave cleric, your character could pray to the divinity or divinities to whom your grave cleric...
Okay. I have a way to flavor this.
Yes.
Winnie's going to just try to summon a crow, which she considers to be a CR1. She's just going to be like, "Get over here, please." And she's just going to
Is
snap
the
her
intent
fingers.
of the crow to use as a sacrifice to revivify this creature?
The only way Winnie has experienced magic is these birds started showing up after an incident we will get into later. So she's trying to summon one, I think, so she can sacrifice it, yes.
Okay, what is your wisdom?
It is 16.
What level are you?
I am level 5.
Okay, make a percentile roll.
Oh, percentile.
In this
In
economy?
this economy? Oh,
Oh no.
it's a 71. Don't know if that's good or
No
bad.
crows arrive.
God damn it. The
You have
second
one opportunity to stop this from happening, otherwise the last one is going to eat its friend.
I'm going to stop this. I'm just going to kind of take the body back.
Ah,
And
Why are you so obsessed with this one
it's
creature?
time for a little grapple. It's not letting go, and you want to take it away. So you're going to play tug of war with a dead body. Go ahead.
It's one creature.
Instead of
They
playing
were
tug of war, can I
friends.
just slap the other one off?
Yes, roll.
If I died, you would be
Reckless
upset,
attack.
Lark.
Of course, but it's a monster.
No.
I don't
no.
understand.
He's
Grapple's
a
gonna be
little guy.
Okay,
Don't
you're playing
make fun
tug of
him.
war. What do you want to do?
Nothing.
You're watching this?
Yes.
So the Leonin is playing tug of war with a small creature who is very intent on eating its fallen friend.
I'm yelling.
You're
at-
looking for crows.
I'm
Nothing's
yelling at the
happening yet. You're yelling at the sky. Nothing's happening yet. The little creature, despite being afraid of you, is now growling at you.
Got a new sword I found.
You go to grab the sword. It lets go and runs away.
Okay.
It bolts for the bushes.
Healing magic.
It's dead. I can try to fix it, but it's not really working. I mean, I could kill you and then sacrifice your soul to revive it, but I'm not going to do that.
How can I help?
Okay, you can't.
What do you mean?
Lark sits down and starts stacking rocks.
Shut up! If you're not talking, but be quiet. I can't. Listen, I can check. Any birds?
All of you make perception checks. You're looking for birds.
Guidance.
15, 16.
19.
26.
Okay. You're watching this circus. Are you entertained? What's your feeling on this matter?
I sit down and start stacking rocks.
Okay. You're wishing that you could somehow save this maybe partially trained or somewhat domesticated wild humanoid creature that is dead. You are looking for crows, assuming that your divine inspiration would actually grant you this power, but what you actually hear is something slowly moving through the ground, and it sounds like a dragging sound, and you kind of look out of the corner of your eye and you see a humanoid hand reach through some bushes and another humanoid hand reach through some bushes and pull itself, and you see the head of a rotten man pulling itself along the ground towards you guys.
Is this a
Can we go?
It has a gaping hole out the back of its skull, and one of its eyes is missing. And as it pulls itself through, it has no lower torso.
Huh.
And it's going,
Oh, do you know him? Are y'all friends?
Might
Can
we?
you sacrifice that one?
Well, it has to be kind of a willing matter.
Might we leave?
Hold on. This is important.
this is moving really slow. Just to be clear.
Okay,
It's like 25 feet away, and
walk
every
up.
round it moves 3 feet.
I walk up to the skull. I walk up to the zombie. I cast Speak with Dead.
Oh, that's unexpected. Okay.
There. It just needs a skull. Are you willing to sacrifice your life for a very good friend of mine?
Please put me out of this eternal damnation.
I can do that. I can do that. If you can I pick you up and bring you over somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, I pick him up
Please,
and I bring him
kill
over
me.
to where the corpse of the.
Are you still speaking to it?
I am. I'm
It
just kind
says, "You must burn me. Only through flames can I die."
Oh yeah, we can do that for sure. Ahkum, do you have any fire on you?
I have oil.
Oh yeah, that works. Can you cover the zombie with oil?
It's back!
No. We're gonna use it to get your little friend back.
Oh, okay.
And just to be clear, your soul is willing to do this if we free you from.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So just let it cover it in oil.
How convenient, a
Just
willing soul
open
to
up.
be sacrificed.
Squeeze the oil out under the creature.
Druidcraft sparks. And I'm gonna cast Revivify using.
It's like, thank you for saving me from this damnation.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna cast.
How close are you to this? Do you have to be within 5 feet to cast the spell?
I don't know how
Yep,
close
go
I have
ahead
to
and
be.
make that con save for me.
Concept is against
Yep.
magic.
No, because as you're burning it, there's smoke, and the smoke has a yellow tinge to it.
Good for him.
Yummy.
King. That's gonna be a 9.
You are now poisoned.
Good for me.
Wah, wah.
I can fix this. But
Am I still poisoned?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's
Mr.
what I
Allen, more importantly, do I bring him back?
Yes. Your
Yes!
spell works. Invoke the name of the divine to whom you or from whom you gain your power.
Invoke the name?
Yes.
I don't fucking know. I did not know that was part of the spell. The crows, The goddamn birds? I don't
Start
know.
listening off guard.
So here's what happens.
The plant
this
one?
toxic yellow smoke that's burning off, as you are using that ending of force to revivify the creature who is dead, you see a crow fly by through the smoke and then continue to fly north. As you complete the ritual, the small creature starts twitching.
I
Getting ready
fixed it.
ahead. Or not. What?
Are you
Don't.
We got
worry
ourselves
about
a
it.
pet.
are
Look
you
at
kidding
him.
me?
One of the
The
torsos.
specter jumps up and it's like shocked to be alive and it's like, "Wah!"
Hi.
And it like looks at its
Torso.
own limbs and it looks at itself and it looks at you and takes the torso and starts just ripping through the torso. And there's just gore all over it. It's just covered in guts and blood.
He's lovely. I see why you like him.
Can I go at the creature's head?
I will let you make. All right, which is higher for you, persuasion or animal handling?
Can I try to assist?
They're the same.
Okay, you can make persuasion. What are you doing to assist?
Animal handling.
No,
No.
roll.
One. I just saved this man's life.
You did,
An
Goddamn.
18.
but he doesn't know that.
That's fair.
All
That's
right,
fair.
it allow it like you notice when you reach your hand out, it's like and it's got like intestines hanging out of its mouth, but you do it very slowly and you like maintain eye contact with it, and you touch its head, and it after it realizes that you're not hurting it, it like stops growling at you and it goes back to chewing the intestines.
Why?
He's my friend.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
It's my hunting partner.
cute. What do you mean? Look at him with his little eyes and his arms.
He's the brains, I'm the brawn.
I love
The
it.
specter looks at you and it kind of wipes some of the goo from its mouth and then it takes some of the intestines out and hands it to you in a gesture of friendship.
Oh, lovely. All right.
Now, as you enjoy this intimate moment with this strange creature, you do feel that sickness welling up in you again. Despite having purified, you are poisoned, and you also begin to feel like a little weak and kind of shaky, and you feel like you're not sure if you can hold in your whatever you ate this morning.
Protection from poison, protection from poison. We're fine.
Ooh, spells indeed.
I love it. Yeah.
As
Spell
you,
slots McGee over here.
yeah, as you blow through your spell slots,
I've got 4 left.
I will say that you're feeling better instantly. And as you guys have acquired the first batch of these ingredients for Votano, you feel like, it's noon, midday, you've got plenty of time to kind of move on to the next area. Which is a perfect place for us to end this episode of D&D with High School Students. Thank you for all of your patience, your support, everybody, for liking, and please don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you tune in for the next episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Bye.
Well, hello. and welcome to Bill Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you were just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.